Okay, so hi everybody. We're ready now to cover the signatures. So here is the signature all together, the book block we call this. It's all glued and ready. And now I have everything ready and cut so that I can just demonstrate on how to do that. And I gave you the directions so you can follow the directions on how to cut this. And I'll just show you what I did. So the supplies you need 3 book boards, okay? So I'm using book board. You can use, I said, a box to a cereal box. This board is a little bit sturdier than that, but a cereal box will do, okay? So you're going to cut these boards so that you have 2 boards that are 4 1/8 by 5 18/16 inches long. Okay, so again, you have 2 boards and you're going to cut these 2 boards 4 inches and 1/8 by 5 13/16 long. Then you're going to cut the spine, and the spine is going to be a 1/2 inch by 15 13/16 inches long. And you can see here that the spine and each cover, that they're the same height, and that here's the width, which is 4 1/8 each. All right, so then we have that all cut and ready, and you can cut that now. And then we need to have 2 end sheets. So you're going to take a sheet of decorative paper and you're going to cut it so it's 8 1/2 inches by 5 1/2 inches long. So you have 2 sheets that you're going to cut that are 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 inches long. Okay, so these are called your end sheets. Then you also need your book cloth, and I want you to cut your book cloth so it's 7 by 7 1/2 inches. Okay, so the height should be 7 1/2 inches by 7 inches across, and this is my book cloth. You also need 2 sheets of decorative paper to cover your seams, and they will be cut at 4 inches by 7 1/2. So here's another sheet of decorative paper, 2 sheets, and these are cut 4 inches by 7 1/2 inches, okay? 4 inches by 7 1/2, 4 inches by 7 1/2. And then you also need a hinge, and the hinge is not going to be seen at all. It's just reinforcement, and you can just use another sheet of your book cloth, and you're just going to cut that so that it's 5 1/2 inches long by 3 1/4 inches wide. So it's 5 1/2 inches long by 3 1/4 inch wide. And then you also need a small strip of paper, craft paper, that's 1/4 inch wide by the height of the book, okay? Right here. All right. And then I also recommend having 2 spacers, and what the spacers do, they're 1/4 inch wide each and the height of the book. So they're 1/4 inch wide by 5 13/16 inches long. And what they do is they provide space when you're gluing the board onto the book cloth. And this way you won't mix up that space. Like, you have to leave a 1/4 inch space between the book cloth and the actual text block. And so you have these 1/4 inch spacers to help with that. Okay. All right. So let's get this all together and we'll get going on how to glue this all together. So I've already cut and I have everything ready, and I'm going to take the end sheets of paper, the 2 end sheets right here. These are my 2 end sheets. You're going to fold them together so that the decorative side folds inside and the non-decorative side is on the outside. Okay, so the decorative part of the paper is folded inside. And we're going to take our book block and with a scrap piece of paper, we're going to mask 1/4 of an inch of the spine. So here's the spine, and then we're going to go 1/4 of an inch from the spine into the book text block, and we're going to put glue here. You want to use straight PVA glue. So with that same brush that you used, you're just going to lightly put glue 1/4 of an inch from the spine to the opening. Okay, so here's 1/4 of an inch. Here's where the spine starts here, and then this is where the opening of the book is. But you're only gluing 1/4 of an inch. All right, so here make sure that your tape, you want to flip the tape up and get underneath that as well. Alrighty, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to take the end paper and we're going to put it right up to that edge like this. And you're just going to, with your bone folder, burnish that. And now do the other side. A 1/4 of an inch down. From the spine. And get underneath the tape. And then tuck that end sheet right underneath there. And burnish it.